All right, we should finally be live now. Last time I accidentally streamed the whole thing, but I didn't press the go live button, so I didn't go live. And I was just testing a bit with planning it and then actually pressing the button. But if you press it like too fast, two times, the stream completely ends already. So it's I'm kind of still getting used to this whole streaming thing. But anyway, we are back, and I already received a DM from someone if I can do a stream on BTE Africa sometime. I I can do that. At least for now, I want to keep it to New York City for a bit. But I'm also planning to do some other build teams in the future. Um, it's also just that I want to explore New York City a bit more. Because this is also like the server I've played on within BTE the most. But you'll just have to keep up a bit with the with the streams that I've done in, and then you can see like when I'm streaming on a different build team. But let's get started with what I want to do for this stream. So we are going to um look at some of my older buildings and then look at older buildings and try to improve the buildings that I made in the past. I bookmarked some of my buildings from the last stream so that I can just go easily there, and then we can get started on improving it. In the last stream, I already improved one whole building, but yeah, I never started it, so not really something I want. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the buildings I made. So let's look at the doors first, because now there's like this button. It's not really up to my liking. Like this used to be a thing I used to do maybe 4 years ago. And if you look around, like most of the doors don't have those buttons and are just, full blocks. So for this one, I think just removing only the button should be enough. Then we have these window frames, but this one is kind of harder because I need to look on Google Maps how the window looks in real life. Because like these end rods don't really say all that much. Yeah, okay. So if you look on Google Maps, it actually the window frames are actually like this. And maybe end rods even is the best thing for this. But I learned recently that in order to gain a debug stick, we have to do this command. Like Minecraft just has a debug stick itself. So if you go here, debug stick, you get one. And I want to use pale wood for it. But you have this problem that if you just place these fences, they start to connect and it doesn't like look what you want to. So if I take this debug stick and just press it on the side there, these connections go away because I don't really like it. Oh wait, so it's like it says this direction is true or false. So if I go here, it says east is true. So probably if I go right here, no, it goes to east again. Wait, why is it east the whole time? That's weird. Maybe if I face this direction and give myself another debug stick, it should work. Let me see. No, it's east again. Why is it east the entire time? Maybe if I right click. No, doesn't change anything. Oh wait, if you have to look at the block and then face the direction you want to change. So we want to change the north for this one. So if you look into this direction and then click it, yeah, you can see it works. Let's do the same for this. And then also for all the other window frames. This carpet is kind of gonna be a problem. If you look on Google Maps, you can clearly see it's the window is like this. So I made it correctly in the past. It's just that I think it just really doesn't fit with my current standards of how I want to build to look. Also kind of annoying to... Oh wait, no, it's not even the direction you're facing. It's just you press the fence a couple of times and then it just changes what you have selected. So I have to have this east thing again. And then west, I think. No, it's north. The south. And then here north again. Yeah, and we can get rid of it. So this one is east again. Yeah, and then you kind of get like... This is what I wanted to do in the next room, but I didn't know how. Okay. So, next up are these lanterns. Is there even a better way to do that? Wait, can you actually use a debug stick on the... Yeah, you can. But it's bottom locked and hanging. Not really anything else. So for this, not necessarily, I think. You know, you also can't really connect them with each other. And you see, because if you search lantern, you just get a couple of different lanterns, but that doesn't really matter because the shape is still the same, of course. I think we can just leave the lanterns alone for this one, because there's not really any other way to fix this. You know, for this window, it's kind of hard, because I want to get rid of the carpet, but I just don't really know how. Maybe, oh, what happened here? Suddenly got kicked off of the server. Server still online though. What happened? Why do we just suddenly get kicked off from the server? It doesn't want me to build. Well, let's go back to where we were. This building. It did take my commands. That's weird. So it can kick you off the server, but it still keeps your commands. I didn't know that. That's actually quite a neat feature. They should also just have the same thing for if you shut off your computer. Why is that not a thing? It's really annoying, actually. But yeah, we can only go back for now. And then look at it again. So, what are we gonna do with the carpet? Actually, maybe we can replace it with a trapdoor. That should be something we will be able to do. So if I go here, and we could use a spruce one. Let's go with the spruce one, and then peel oak for this trapdoor. So if I place it like so, and then this trapdoor facing down, yeah. I think this is a bit better for this one. Okay, so for the iron bars, I want to take a tough brick ball. That one would be fun, I think. Because it's also like kind of the same color as the iron bars. So you get this. It's a pity though the walls connect with each other. I don't want that. Also for the door, the button should go away. Are there even like any more doors in this building? Yeah, there's one at the back. I don't think there's any on the sides. Well, there are a couple of windows though. So in a bit we'll go and change some of those windows. But first let's look at this further. You know, maybe I could just use the debug stick on this one, because if you look on Google Maps, you can see that like this wall should be open. Let me try that. So if I give myself the debug stick again, let's see what it says. It says east. Yeah, you can make it open. That's pretty neat. I don't know if you can use a debug stick as a regular builder, but if you can, definitely use this, and otherwise just wait until you are a professional builder at least, because then you can build in the city server and you can use the debug stick. And if you can't use it, just, you know, use the debug stick, then you actually get professional, and until you're there, just don't really bother with it, you know. If you can't use it, you shouldn't really worry about it. Okay, next up is the, you know, this triangle. You know, the roof of this small porch. Okay, so I can just remove this slab. Well, I think that already looks better. We can use this, can just replace the rain gutter with the ball. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so for the for like the actual gutter, I want to look around a bit, because you know, we are using iron trapdoors now, and I think it looks pretty ugly on it. But the problem is, if you fly around a bit, you can't really see that many gutters made, and if they are made, it's mostly like not really an improvement from what I currently have. So that's a bit of a bummer, because like, why isn't anyone making gutters? Yeah, here, this building is doing the same as I am. I want to follow this thing. You know, just replace the iron bars. Oh, not the iron bars, the iron trapdoors with the pale oak trapdoor. Why are so many of these Minecraft names like so long? Even they added way too many blocks, and I just didn't know what to name it, so they make just these names very long. So let's replace the gutter. You know, it's funny because if you look back at your old builds, you wouldn't expect you would be able to change a lot about it. But after a few years, you just see so many new things that it's just like, oh wait, I can change this and I can change that, and then you just keep going until your whole building is different. And I think that's kind of neat, actually. It's also just that Minecraft and Mojang added random new blocks. So that means you can use blocks that you couldn't use a few years ago. which is also the case for this building. Because, you know, back in 2021, we didn't have these build-up trapdoors. It was just the iron trapdoor. Iron trapdoor is like a short name, at least. It's easy to say. I'm also kind of wondering what to do with these emeralds again. I think I'll just use the same thing as here in the front. Because we have the build-up fence. And I can use those here again. You know, I could also just use world edit with //birth, but that's for small blocks, you know, small portions of blocks. It doesn't really matter all that much. It's just easier to use a regular debug stick, because if I used perf on all of these, no, you would have to select them and then use a command on them, and now I can, you know, just do this basically. Way easier. So you need to know the right angles of the fences here. So north is, wait, if this is the north, that means that's south and this is west. So south and west. Yeah, that works. It's just annoying if all these fences connect, then it just takes way longer to get them correct. I kind of wanna know more about the debug stick, like what you can all change with it. Because it also says like waterlogged, but you know, it's not really. Maybe if you make like the surface of a, you know, the surface of a lake or river, you know, then maybe you could use it, but otherwise, like, water isn't really used all that much in Build the Earth. Okay, so we only need south, I think. No, it was north. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Oh, there's also more envelopes over here. But we have to change it as well. Yeah. There's so many. Why did I use so many envelopes in my buildings? I'm really getting to start tired of my envelopes. I wish I didn't use them, but I did. Okay, so this was south, north, south, and western. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So next is the roof, I think. Or did I miss anything? Yeah, I did miss something. We first need to change the gutter at the other side, because otherwise you have one gutter which is made with pale oak trapdoor, and the other one is made with regular iron trapdoor. Okay. Cool, there's also this gutter pipe to the ground. I also still need to change. It's so much. You know, I could probably just fill in the whole other streams with this, because it's just so much. I didn't expect that. Yeah, it is. You know, it's funny because if you look at the player list, it's a little less crowded, but that's mostly because of time zones. Because for me, it's like the middle of the afternoon, but most players are, of course, from the US, and it's like the beginning of the morning now, which means that people are still sleeping, they are eating breakfast, or they are just going to school or work, and then, you know, they don't really have time to come and watch this or come online and build. But I didn't really have another choice for today, because tonight I'm actually going to the cinema again for like the first time in 2 years, I think. I don't even remember what the last film was that I saw. It was probably like Avatar: The Way of Water, I think. Let me search that online. When did the uh, film came out? So it was Avatar: Way of Water, 2022. No, that can't be right. That can't. I was at 2022. Wait, no, that's not correct. Then I think it was the Hunger Games, probably. The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Maybe that one, but it's also like kinda long ago. Did I really not go to the cinema for 3 years? It's so long. Well, it could be right because I don't remember any other movies that I saw besides The Hunger Games the last time there. Because alone I don't really go to the cinema all that much. Usually it's like with family. I used to go with friends like back in the day, but I feel like people also just go to the cinema less in general. Maybe not like this year or the past few months because there was like a little uprising, at least for Gen Z, to go to the cinema again that I saw, which is fun because otherwise cinemas would just completely die. I don't think we want that. Otherwise, it would be kind of boring. And you would have all these empty buildings that you need to fill up. I mean, you could use them for like apartments, but I think we'd rather keep going to the cinema than just have like 8 more random apartments. Okay, so where was I? I was busy with this rule. Because if you look I have to look on satellite imagery because otherwise I can see it. You can't really see it from street view. It's kind of like, it's not fully dark brown, but it's also not like light brown. It's kind of in between. That's annoying with like a lot of these American suburb houses. The color of the roof usually isn't really that clear, It's always like a shade kind of in between. Let me search for a slab. So I could use mudbrick, but I already used that, of course. Maybe copper, but I think that would only make it worse in my opinion. And at the same time, I think spruce is kind of outdated and ugly. But at the same time, there's also not like really any brown slabs. So, although of course are brown slabs, but not the right shade of brown that I want this roof to be. So yeah, I'll just leave it like this for now. The roof pattern is mostly correct. I could still like improve it a bit. That the pattern is just a bit more fluent. Because, it's now 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and it's just the bottom is 2 and the rest is 1. I think I'd rather have like the top to be 3 and the rest to just be bottom. At least as far as I can do that. So, you have to kind of put out the corners so that you have a good pattern. It's kind of hard to explain. If you have a real roof, you have it of course has tiles. And it's not like, in real life, tiles are never really flat. There are some exceptions, of course, but generally, roof tiles are not flat. Otherwise, you wouldn't use tiles because the tiles are for water to get away, So otherwise, roof tiles would be useless, right? You also have the problem that if you do this on one side, the other side immediately starts to look ugly. But that's why you have to do the whole thing in one go. Because if you leave it open for too long, it just starts to look even more ugly, and you don't want that. At the end of the stream, I also think I want to go to BTE Germany and look at the subway I made. You might be wondering, like, why in the world would you want to look at the subway and not even in New York City? Well, it's because I remember that I made a subway station on BTE Germany, and I think it would be cool to do a subway stream on the New York City server and just, try to make a regular subway station in New York City. I don't think I would make like a whole subway station in one stream, but at least maybe like the upper area or just the hallways that are like directly under the ground should be possible. Now I'm actually starting to hesitate again because this is not the shape that the building is. Or the roof is, I mean. You want to have a difference. Maybe the old pattern was better, actually. Sometimes when making these buildings, you just have to try some things. And then when it's done, you're like, nah, wasn't really what I wanted. And then just change it again. And again, and then eventually you get what you want. That's basically just the whole process of building you have to do. Okay, so wait, why is this lower than this? This side. Looks kind of weird. Okay, so what if we do 2, 1, 2? No, that won't work, I think. So if we go 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Maybe. We could also go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Wait, that sounds weird if I say it like that. Let me see if that's actually possible. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, actually, that should be possible. Let's try that. Maybe that's better. Oh, there's an input here that I didn't spot yet. We'll have to use that. Upgrade. And now you kind of have the problem of this window. So we'll have to fix that in a bit as well. Otherwise, it doesn't really work like the thing I want. But I'm already streaming for almost half an hour. How does this go so fast? Like, if I'm really concentrated on something, it's always that the time flies by so fast. Especially with building, you want to have the buildings to, look as good as possible. So my focus on them is usually pretty heavy. So it's like just cutting this whole roof out like a full-time job almost. Why is this roof so big? But if I look on 3D view, like I want to guess how tall this will really. Yeah, it also doesn't really look like 2. It's probably 1.5. Usually in English you would use imperial scale, but it's not really like usable when building in Minecraft because the whole point of the project is that it's the whole Earth in Minecraft, but on a 1-to-1 scale, meaning 1 block is 1 meter, and not 1 block is 1 yard. You know, what would happen if we did that? What would happen if we changed the scale of BTE from 1 block to 1 yard instead of 1 block to 1 meter? That would be really strange. Okay. So it was 1, 2, 1. This is just 1, you know, it's kind of pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's, you know, it just keeps going. So that means this is a 1 again. Let's go to the other side. So is this 1 already correct? I don't think so. Well, maybe it is actually. It's just that we have to cut this off. So this one should be 2 as well. And then the highest part is just 1. You know, now we have this. But no, this doesn't really turn out into what I want. That's kind of hard. Alright. Maybe if I just destroy the most upper part of the slabs, would work. Wait, I think I see what's going wrong. Like this part of the roof is 1 block higher than the right part of the roof. Which means that this this part of the roof should be 1 higher. But I think it's an elevation problem, because you see that the ground goes 1 meter down here. I think in these types of cases it's like allowed, because otherwise it's just we'll punch it on. But that means we have to change the glitter as well. Well, yeah, changing up this building is way harder than I thought. Okay, but if we... this is hard. I think we have to make the wall 1 higher as well then. Like so. Let's also just change the gutter pipes right away if we're changing up this wall anyway. So... that's 1 gutter done, and then, you know, we can place the slabs from here. And then work out a roof pattern from there. You know, with improving these things, you also have to think ahead sometimes. This gutter pipe should be 1 higher. And then we can put the original gutter right back where we wanted it to be. Yeah. You know, that's already a lot better immediately. And then we just have to fill this up. Maybe that also like immediately just fixes this issue. But you know, now it's no, I did something wrong again, because this one is lower again than this one. So was it like correct from the start then? I'm missing something. I'm really missing something, because this shouldn't be possible, you know? Let's revert it. But if I make it one lower, the gutter would be right up there. No, wait, this would just be covered by roof tiles, right? It also doesn't really matter. These blocks are like roof tiles because you don't see them from the outside, of course. Yeah. Wait, I have message. Oh, it's not really anything important. Okay. So let's put the roof tiles back here. And then just the gutter. And then work out the probably original pattern from there. Because it's technically still original. Yeah, this gutter tile has to be on there. So yeah, it is the same level. I think I think I found the issue. The gutter is on the lower end of this block. So it basically goes a full block up here from the start. So if we just put one half of it, we should get what we want. But I have to look if like the original pattern should fit. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1. Oh wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Maybe it will fit. Let's try it. Maybe I'm just gonna put this one further into the ground. Also, yeah. Otherwise it looks okay. Kinda starting to wonder if this pattern I came up with is even possible. But I counted it, so it should be correct, right? This is why you need to learn mathematics in school. Yeah, you just need to learn mathematics in school to be able to build the Earth. Because if you wouldn't learn mathematics, how are you gonna make roof tiles in BTE New York City, I actually sometimes go to schools and just tell them, you have to teach mathematics so future builders know how to make roof tiles and build your New York City. That's a joke, of course, but if you really think about it, it is actually true that like this is one of the things you can use mathematics for in real life. Yeah. Look, it turns out how I wanted to. I think so, at least. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That's perfect now. Okay, so I think, yeah. Why is this gutter still the same? I think I changed it like 3 times already, right? Just keep missing it, apparently. Even more end rods. The end rods just keep coming back. They just never want to leave me alone. I'm sorry, guys. They don't want to. Okay. So we have to start from the beginning again. It's south. No, wait. It's east and west, right? Yeah. And then this one is east. Is it connected at the south? I can't really see it. I don't know this. Okay. So I can change this to And then in a bit, when it's done, I first want to go to the, just lower Manhattan and see if we can see some inspiration there to be able to use in my suburb buildings. Because I don't really think I'm gonna start on a skyscraper again. The last time I made it, it took over a weekend. Was during COVID, so I had so much time. I really believe if you truly want to make a skyscraper look good, you can easily put at least 10 hours into it, maybe 15. Things such as basic. And unless you are unemployed, I don't think they have time for it. What's happening? I just keep making it worse. And I also can see what south. It's east and west. Yeah, so this one east. And then I think, wait, if that's west and that's east, means it's correct. So that should be north. It's kind of like I'm doing like physics and magnetics. You have this. I know you had this like rule of, with your hands there that lets you see how a magnetic field is formed, or what the magnetic stream is. I don't really remember what it was exactly for. Kind of feels like that day. No, it's I had it wrong. It was south. Wait, but I'm confused because if to the right is east and to the left is west, I think I just read it wrong then, because it shouldn't be so. Wait, I just realized, why am I using tough walls for it? I had to use pale oak fence for it, not tough walls. I guess I just picked tough walls to make it tough for myself. That was the worst word pun I made probably this year. Okay, so north. Maybe at some point I just have to write it down because I keep forgetting what direction I need to use. Maybe some of them will compliment you. Always have to try it. Okay, so east and west. Remember, northeast. Right. And then here we have some animals as well, but first we need to fix this. And north, no, south. So we're first south and then west, east. Yeah. Here we have to do south on it again. And now we have to do the same thing for these end rules. Wait, why is the iron bars keep coming back? It's a curse, I think. And I thought I changed all of them. Apparently not. I also keep thinking that maybe we could also just use the debug stick for these gutters. Because if you look at it right now, they are connected directly to the house. I don't think you really want that. So for this one, it's just south the whole time. And then for the other side, it's north. Things like this are easy to remember, but if you have to change it up, again and again for these roof, for these window frames. You just keep making mistakes, because it's different every time. I feel like they make this debug stick way too hard, or I just have a skill issue with this. It's probably the second one because I've never used it before. Well, debug sticks that people make themselves, but not with like the official one for Mojang. Okay, now we have to fix this again. There's just the harder parts. Let's first do East. Yeah, I think so too, because I've never even used Axiom. Like I've known about it for at least 3 years now, I think. But I've just never used it before. So it's a really good tip. Maybe I could just try and install Axiom live on, on stream, and then just figure out how to use it. It's a nice other idea. Anyway, yeah, this is correct now. But there's probably a whole what we need to change even more. Yeah, this one is still connected. It's better. These window frames still need to be changed. There's entrance here. Also, for like these side walls, I think I just guessed a bit, because sometimes you can see like where the windows are, but not always see very how the windows look. So sometimes it's also kind of guesswork. Some parts of the world don't even have street view, or even well, they know everything. Of course, has satellite data, but some things just don't have 3D pictures or street view, and you just have to guess everything. Unless you go there and actually take pictures for yourself. But, if you don't really have that option, in my opinion, it's better if you just kind of guess it. I think Pippin had like this video North Korea once, because of course you can't really go there easily, and they don't have any 3D data or street view, so you have to do everything from a satellite and maybe like a couple of reference pictures. We could also try to do that once, but make a little challenge for myself. But I know from experience it's really hard. I think I did it once in Bolivia, but Bolivia still sometimes has street view, so it was easier to do. I think the only building I've only built from satellite data was in Bolivia, because it's kind of hard to explain. But you had this house, and in front of it was just a wall and a gate. Because it was in Santa Cruz, the La Sierra in Bolivia, so most of these houses are behind gates. So if you want to see the front of the building, you have to look past the gate. But of course, you can't do that from the street. And the gardens themselves don't have street view. So yeah, it was just guesswork in the end. Just keep making whatever again. Sorry, guys. It's north and south. If Minecraft was like a school subject, they should teach you this. I don't think I think only Dutch people know about this, but we had like this internet joke a couple of months back when final exams were happening here in the Netherlands. You know, because usually at high school we have these exams at the end. If you're in your final year, that you have to make to be able to pass on to university or community college. And someone just made the whole final exam of solely Minecraft, but in the style of like a final exam that we need to take here in the Netherlands. And I saw like this a part of this video that someone actually like looked at it, but the questions were really hard. Like some things in Minecraft are so obscure that you just don't know about them. Okay, that's better. I think for this I'll just replace it with a trapdoor. Also replace these two things with trapdoors. And then we have some more entrance over here. Wait, if this is all north, let's just, maybe if I just do it by direction, it goes faster. Like if you first do north and then east and then west, it's faster. Oh, that's also tough call. Okay. So now we go with west. I just click every one of them, and then east. Yeah, that's a way faster method, I think. Oh, this rain gutter is also connected to the what is it? If that's north, or was it? I just keep, you know, keep getting all these directions wrong. Yeah, it was best. This one isn't connected. This one also isn't. Okay, so any more things we can change? Yeah, here it is. Let's get rid of this button. Let's replace it with palewood, strict palewood. But it's oak wood also, so it means like if you're playing survival, it's like a real tree. I've never played survival with this type of tree, so I don't really know about it. Okay, kind of thinking what to do with this type of glass. Maybe I should just keep it. Because, you know, it's, can't really come up with a better solution for it. Why is there like a little button there? Let me look at Street View. I want to know what the reason for that button is. Oh, that's interesting. If you look on Google Maps, you can see a little name sign, I think. People who live in this house. It's probably just a family thing. I mean, there are a lot of houses that have that, you know, you just put a sign in front of it and it says your family name on it, or just the people who live there. Or maybe that's a Dutch thing, though. I don't know. I've seen it a couple of times here. Never really like looked at it in other countries. Maybe take some sips for my coffee. Maybe that will help with the coughing. You know, usually if you get like an itch in your throat, just taking a couple of sips from a drink can help to get it away for at least a couple of minutes. Yeah, I think you can also just see the back of the building on Google Maps. Um, but I think I'm happy for now with how it turned out. So let's go to the city and let's see if they can get some more inspiration. Let's see. You know what? I'm just gonna copy the coordinates on Google Maps, so I'll just spawn in the middle of random Lower Manhattan. That's easy. No, well, I'm just playing around for not the whole time. So we immediately spawn at a really good spot to get some inspiration. Like this is high pro stuff. Like they're using chains and rods, balls, fences. Like the tops of skyscrapers are mostly so messed. But that's also because, most of these buildings have a ventilation system and that's all handled here. Then you also have the electrical system, the water pipes. Uh, I think it's just easier for mechanics to work on it. This kind of looks like like a small water tower. Which, I don't know. I don't think this is a water tower. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the windows for a bit. Oh, I forgot you had these little lightning rods. That's like a nice little thing maybe I could use. Um, old British. Oh, here the grindstone. That's actually quite interesting that you can use that in some of your buildings. Didn't know that. Um, what's this? Blast furnace. And at some point, I think they just added all these different blocks for you to edit, like blocks way faster. I think it was like 1.14 right with the finisher update. Well, if I'm playing survival, I never really use these types of blocks all that much. That's probably just because I'm used to the old way of doing it. Well, I guess if you look at it like this, trapdoors are still fine to use for window details. Mm, yeah, it's just more trapdoors. Oh, I forgot about this thing. This is really old, like the survival. You already have that for over 10 years, probably. I used to use this like so much back in the day. But I think like did anyone even use the trapwire for like actual trapwire? Oh, it's trapwire, not trapwire. Like, did anyone even use trapwires for the thing it's supposed to be like a trap for someone to fall into? Because I always just used it to for taps. Like, it's actually fun to show. Like, if you place it like so and you use a cauldron. Wait, how do we spell cauldron? Why can I find it? Wait, eh? How is that called? Cauldron. Oh, it's with a U. Okay, but like if you place it like so, and you place a tripwire hook, it kind of looks like a sink with a tap. That's a fun thing you can use in interiors. Though we don't really make interiors in BTE, only if it's like clearly stated it's a public building. Because you have also semi-private buildings, and the border between them is kinda arbitrary. So that makes it harder. Well, these, this is the kind of building level I want to get to. Just very detailed windows. This is like, I, I, I mean, I'm already building for probably 11 years right now, which is really a really long time. But if you take huge breaks in between them, it's kind of hard to get back into it. And people also keep evolving their building techniques, and Minecraft keeps adding new books, so sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up with it. Hence also why I'm doing these streams, so that I can take some inspiration from other builders. Um, you mean the what block, the tripwire or the color? But I think it should change. Yeah, I think I got that idea like already a few days ago to just use change sometimes. But making gutters with change is something you generally shouldn't really do, because it makes the building look weird, in my opinion. I think these buildings are probably a bit older. No, they are still like very detailed. I think most of these buildings are also just like redone after some time, especially because it's the center of the city. So at some point you just want to have a new building. So like this is like kind of old, because it's just it's just glass. It doesn't have any detail. I wanted to say because it's like it's the back of the building, but if you go to the front, there also aren't really that many details. So this is probably one of the older ones. Let me go around a bit. Some of these buildings just looks like they come out of 2050 or something, with all these plans and like the white structure. If you have if you search pictures of a futuristic city, this is like the basic example they usually give you. Also, it's like trees on top of it. You should really do this more in cities. Just if you have these kind of big buildings, it's nice to have some greenery on top of it. I also, what's funny? I learned through Minecraft that if you place plants and greenery around cities and on top of buildings, during summer, it's like really hot. Heat is like chilled down a bit because the plants absorb some of the heat. That's also something you could teach with multi-air. Just how do you reduce heat in cities? But surely they can do better than probably, there's what, 5 trees or one section of a building, like just fill the whole room with, I don't know, trees, grass, bushes. Hey, what's this? Because this is the middle of Lower Manhattan. Wait, I thought this wasn't done yet, because if you look, like, if I change my speed and if you fly a bit up, it looks like it's not done yet. But if you fly down, you can see there's already this mix. What even is this? This is, I think it's a honkbal. No, wait, honkbal doesn't exist in English, right? Wait, does honkbal exist, or is it just baseball? I think honkbal is only Dutch. Because I know you in Dutch you have honkbal and slagbal, which is baseball, but I don't know what slagbal is in English. Let me translate it. So you have honkbal. Yeah, that's baseball. But what is slagbal? Wait, why is it? It's the same thing. It also says baseball. But I know there's maybe it's just like different types of baseball, I guess. I don't really remember what the difference is. I think like slagball was mostly just mm, I really don't remember, to be honest. I think like honkball or like regular baseball is stricter, and the map of it is usually like a bit more easy, so you can just run between the bases, you know. Because usually you know the someone throws a ball at you and then you push it back, then it lands somewhere in the field, and mostly you have like 4 bases where you need to touch down before you get a point, or the team gets a point. I think, you know, baseball is just you run between these and not have too many obstacles. Actually, baseball might be my favorite sport because I don't really like football or, if we're talking American English, soccer. Um, because you know it's just I don't, you know, there's some tactic in soccer, but I don't know. It kind of feels the same to me. You know, I feel like in baseball there's some more strategy involved than just mindlessly running after a ball. That might be a controversial take, but you know. Now in Japan, the baseball is also like played heavily. It's funny if you think about it, because you know the US had the World Cup a few months back, or last month actually, but baseball is like the biggest sport in the States, right? So, but and you of course also have American football, but soccer is, I don't think soccer is general like played all that much. Um, all right, let's get back to what we were doing. I just looking at old buildings, but I feel like all of these buildings are kind of too old for me to take inspiration from. So I feel like we should go to another area that's a bit more recent. Maybe if you go like to like south. Wait, this is funny. If you go to like all the way south, it says New Amsterdam Plain. Because I think most of you know this, but you know, a couple of 100 years ago they spoke Dutch in New York at least. So like a lot of names are still in Dutch or just referencing to Dutch directly. Well, Brooklyn is actually Breukelen in the Netherlands, and then you have um, let me think of a great symbol. Oh yeah, you have Harlem, which is Haarlem, you know, but that's funny. It just it's just Dutch names but Americanized. I don't know what's happening with my Google Maps. I don't know, like really. But isn't this already the south? Yeah, I think so. Like this is where I want to go. But this also looks all kind of old thing. No, it's not really like Beard because it's such a huge area. So of course you're not gonna be able to do everything at once. Well, okay. Maybe this building. What's this? It says what? Net NL Museum. Oh, National Museum. American. National American Museum. Wait, so this is like the main museum of just the US? Or only of New York? 'Cause, like, pretty much every big American city has museums. But, you know, New York is not the capital city. So you would expect it to be in Washington. Well, Washington DC, I should say. That's also Washington State. Very complicated stuff. Oh, there's Beck's exposed copper trapdoor. That's a mouthful, but maybe something I could choose. Anyway, I think for now this is like enough inspiration for this trip, probably. So we have the lightning rod, grindstone. This is what I already used. Trapwire. I don't really think I can use a trapwire in these kinds of trapdoors, but it's, yeah. I think you just also have to play around a bit with all these different details. Or you can really make what you want. Oh, there's also half doors. Anyway, for now, let's go to BTE Germany. I hope I remember the IP correctly. I think it was BTE-Germany.de. And we are only gonna look at the old metro station. So for all of you who are still here, this is the bonus content of this stream. So make sure to stick around for at least 10 minutes so you can see my metro station that I made in the past. Hello. I can actually speak German fluently if you didn't know. It's kind of big to do like a whole stream in German if my channel is in English, you know. But also do it in Dutch, but, you know, not what I want. Okay, so I think it was Marienplatz in Munich. Yeah. No, not Marienplatz itself, but the metro station that I made. You know, all these buildings in Munich are kind of old looking, except for maybe like this main thing building on Marienplatz. But yeah, I just searched like actual footage of the metro station. And then just went from there. Like, if you make such a station, it's kind of hard to know exactly where all the entrances are and how the tunnels are in the ground. I think there were some Russian builders who are like very good at making subways. So if we're really doing a subway stream, you could also take a look in Moscow or St. Petersburg. I think they also made it in Moscow probably. But yeah, this is like the platform. I think there's at least a couple days on this because it's really big. Yeah, you can up here and also exit from the back. I think I even filmed this like in one of my YouTube vlogs from like 6 years ago, but I put all those offline because, you know, it's old and I don't really like it anymore. And maybe I should reconsider it, but for now I'll just keep it like so. Okay, so usually what you do with these metro entrances is You go on Google Maps, and then you select the corners of these addresses, and then like from where you need to start, and then just search like footage on YouTube if there is any, and then you can just connect the tunnels. And I usually you go one deeper into like the actual metro tunnel. That's another thing, because if you want to know where like the actual metro tunnel is, you have to search a map or look on Google Maps and kind of guess too. Because this is one of the more annoying things to make in Build the Earth. Like, it's allowed to because it's public and there's enough reference online of it to be able to make it. But if you really want to get it correctly, it's really hard. Apparently there's like digging machines here. I should have put this in German. Why did I put it in English? It's lame. What's this? Like, because I know in Germany usually it's like only ticket machines or just or like QR codes you need to buy. Oh wait, I remember now. I made like the S, because in Germany you have the U-Bahn and S-Bahn. U-Bahn is just the regular metro, and then an S-Bahn is like kind of hard to explain. It's basically like a metro, but it can also be a train or a streetcar even. There's like some German cities where the train goes away from the train tracks onto the street. It turns into a tram. And if it's just on a single track where regular trains don't go, it's basically a metro again. German cities are really weird, like sometimes when it comes to public transport. It's a great system, but sometimes you just don't know what the correct type of train is that you want to name. Also, I was like searching what the biggest metro network in the whole world is, because I thought it was New York, but apparently it's Shanghai now. And there's also you can build anywhere in the world, so we could also build in Shanghai sometimes, but that's even harder because first of all, Chinese metro stations are huge. I have some vlogs on my channel where you can see that, and second of all, reference for metro stations in China is probably kind of hard. But we can try. But I'll first do a metro stream in New York City, I think. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap it up here then. I'll see you all in the next video or the next stream. Make sure to come around and go into Build the Earth. You can play on you can build anywhere in the world basically. And yeah, you can join our Discord. I'm not gonna force you, but you can also subscribe. Yeah, I'll just see you all next time, and yeah, bye bye everyone.